Tippy time, my Jamies, Top Cat here, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is focused on two things. Firstly, the Labrez Ruin. This is the legendary glaive that you can get from the Vow of the Disciple raid. It is solar, and so this ties in really nicely with our Middle Tree Hammer, more importantly the Roaring Flames perk. I started initially working on this build looking forwards at Solar 3.0 that should be coming next season, and for the third encounter inside of the Vow of the Disciple raid on the Master difficulty, as there is an awful lot of shields. First up, let's take a look at the Labrez Ruin, shall we? I am running the Handling Masterwork, Lightweight Emitter, Swap Mag, Grave Robber, and Enhanced Surrounded perk. Soul Drinker, gain health based on the number of hits before reloading. This is very good to keep you in health. As you might have noted, we were running the Surrounded spec as well, and Enhanced Surrounded. This is extremely good on this weapon. It actually grants the best damage buff at 50% once you align all these. The Surrounded Enhanced spec is actually one that does increase the damage, unlike things like Kill Clip or Rampage. On our Middle Tree Titan, we're running Fusion Grenades. This works with Roaring Flames to stack up to make very powerful grenades and very powerful throwing hammers additionally. Tireless Warrior will also trigger health regen upon our hammer throws, but this pairs beautifully with our Ashen Wakes. Bring the heat. Fusion Grenades now explode on impact and gain increased grenade throw. Final blows of Fusion Grenades grant increased grenade energy. Pretty much you get a triple kill with these. You're going to get your grenade back for free, making pow devastating grenades. At this point you might be asking, why would I be using the Ashen Wakes? I mean, yes, they're good and an awful lot of fun, but why would the Labrez Ruin? The fact of the matter is that the projectiles from the Labrez Ruin actually count as melees, so I can use the projectiles to stack up my Roaring Flames, thus giving me the Roaring Flames times 3. That way I'm always ready to have a back pocket grenade whenever I require it. So now with this build I have a nice long range attack, powerful grenade that I pretty much are going to have majority of the time. I do want to stress, however, the grenade is your long range attack, okay? With Roaring Flames times 3, it is going to be very potent, and you do have the potential to nuke yourself with it. So consider it a long range attack. Everything else you've got a glaive in your hands anyway, so you're not really going to need it close range. With this Surrounded spec, you just melt shit through. The Ashen Wakes have a proper fast fall in them, so you can just yeet them cross map, no problem here. Roaring Flames has a decent timer on it. You've got about 20 seconds with the stack, so in that time window you're always going to have a grenade, so just make sure to be either shooting them with a projectile or chucking a grenade every 20 seconds. For my primary of choice, I'm going to use the new Osteo Striga. I freaking love this thing, particularly once you have the catalyst up and running. You're going to have like the awesome toxic version of Subsistence. You can see here I got 108 bullets in the mag. It's just so great for air control, and it's also really good at stunning overloads as well this season, so I'd highly recommend this thing. Additionally, for my heavy, I'm using the Fallen Guillotine. Everyone should have a gold roll version of these. I find this great for burst damage in terms of just smacking something down nice and quick. I also like it for elemental shields when you're slashing and dashing. This build is very much up close and personal, and so I like the Void Sword, particularly as I have made this build primarily for the third encounter of the raid. Of course, for the majority of DPS phases, I swapped this out for Rocket or Linear. For our armor mods, we are running a Firepower, Ashes to Assets, and a Sword Ammo Finder, Elemental Charge, Overload rounds, and Unstoppable rounds for our glaive. Elemental Ordnance to make solar wells as we chuck in lots of grenades, Thermoshock Plating, and Void Resistance. A second Firepower mod, Sword Scav and Glaive Scav. And on our class item we're running Melee Wellmaker, Unstop Throwing Hammer, and suppressing glaive. If you find the health regen upon picking up your little baby hammer and the soul drinker perk on your glaive is not sufficient enough, you can change your mark to help out with that. I have this mark here set up for higher end content. On this mark I'm utilizing the Well of Life. That's going to give me 10 seconds of healing upon every solar well I pick up. Of course I'm chucking out lots of grenades, getting lots of solar wells, so this comes in an awful handy. This build is extremely fun. I love the close-knit feel that it gives to it. You really do feel like a Titan getting up close and personal in people's faces, making things go boom, and just fun violence, to be honest. It is great. I hope they don't mess it up too much with Solar 3.0. I hope in fact this actually improves with Solar 3.0. And lastly we have the super. You might be surprised to know that with the Roaring Flames perk, the Tornado of Doom, the Burning Maul, is actually surprisingly strong and rivals supers like the Nova Bomb this season already. You get that Roaring Flames times 3 up and just go in and spin for the win. This is doing more damage than a Nova Bomb with Devouring Depths, the Weakening Grenade. Look at that, 461. That is amazing. I think the Nova Bomb combination with all the trimmings does around the same thing. So of course, like in practical situations, you're going to want to ask your teammate to leave some ads around so you can get your Roaring Flames stack up, so that way you can actually do DPS when it is required. So there is a little bit more to work for, but it is an awful lot of fun and still strong. But additionally, this is also a very great roaming super as well, so it's kind of the best of both worlds and fun for most encounters. Anyway, my damies, hope you give this build a go. I'm very much looking forward to using it in Solar 3.0, and Lubrae's Ruin is mega fun, so smash that like and I will show you it next season in its full glory. Tippy tie, my damies, what a tie.
Bottom of everything, he's the most tip-top, top cat.